right, welcome back to I Bet You Think This Podcast is About You. And I am S. I have no M today. So sad. But I have a prior guest, now member of our podcast, Linda. Say hi, Linda.
Hey.
And Linda is here to join me. So this is more like a conversation and not like me talking to myself. And we are here with episode, I think 13. I swear I lose count. Called The Tangled Web. And we have another guest. I love having guests on here. And her name is not really Tina. Say hi, Tina.
Hey, what's up?
All right. So have to do our introduction. We are not mental health professionals, just so you know. If you think this podcast is about you, it's because you're a narcissist, so you should listen up. And yeah, so we're going to start with our warm-up, daily high-low. I think Linda was chagrined the last time that she didn't go first. So you can go first.
Okay. Oh, my low. It's early in the day. Again, we're doing this early in the day.
It's pretty early. It's at least a PM right now, at least.
Yeah, not a lot has happened to me. I'm tired. That's my low.
You had to pee real bad.
I did. I had to do that too. So only one night a week I have to work late. And it's fine. I love my job. But I have an active job and I need to be completely present when I am working. And that one night when I get home, it takes me forever to wind down, to relax. So I never fall asleep before 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m.
Wow.
So I'm tired.
You should try CBD.
I have.
You can get it at Family Video.
Keep hearing that.
Do they still have those open family videos?
Only to sell like CBD oil. I actually think they have videos, but they like predominantly sell
In the back
CBD
room?
now.
Oh.
No, like right out
Really?
front.
I have not been in one in years.
That's because why would you? Who gets a video?
Mm-hmm.
But now that you know,
I'm going to go find one.
yeah, CBD. All right. What's your high?
Oh, my high.
Don't say being here.
No. It's September, recording this. It is now September. And there is a feeling of fall in the air.
I know. That's great.
Love
I
it.
fucking love it. It is my jam. So I'm here. I'm here in my leggings, my nice comfy sweatshirt. Just feeling good.
All you need is a pumpkin spice latte.
Right. I'm basic. Give me pumpkin spice everything. I love it. I don't care.
too.
I won't deny it.
I like pumpkin spice beer.
Yes.
I know. Ichabod makes one. It's great.
Fall's amazing.
It is.
So I'm coming alive. I feel good today.
Yeah. Except that it's like hard to dress. Because it's you're like
It's in between.
you get all sweaty later in the day because you have a sweater on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm rocking my sweatshirt with my sandals.
It looks
still.
good.
Absolutely.
All right. So, all right. Well, my low is really shitty because I hate this. I hate everything to do with teeth. Like, it grosses me out. Teeth gross me out, and nothing grosses me out. I can handle blood and guts and gore, but teeth, right? And I'm going to confess that I'm not a frequent flosser. Like, I floss when I feel like I have something in there.
Sure.
Right? And one day I was being a good doobie, this is like a week ago, and I'm flossing my teeth, and I literally pull out a filling. I'm like, God damn it. That's why you're not supposed to floss every day. So I have to go to the dentist this afternoon and get my filling replaced, which I just hate. I hate the shots in my mouth and the touching of the teeth. Like, I used to almost faint when my kids would like hand me a tooth that they pulled out of
Oh,
their
yeah. I can't handle that.
Yeah, it's
like
so
when they're
nasty.
wiggling it, I want to vomit.
I know. So gross. So that's my low. I have to look forward to that this afternoon, which stinks. But my high is that, and we've talked about the patriarchy before, okay? I am in a heavily like male predominated line of work.
Yeah, you are.
And it is like walking a tightrope to not be seen as a complete, like, see you next Tuesday bitch face. Even when you're just behaving the same way they do. And then just being like, you know, like a doormat. So this one guy that I have to work with periodically, and who's, you know, I think a little misogynistic, but it's hard to tell. Maybe he's that way with everybody. I don't know. He has this thing where something will happen or a conversation will occur via telephone or in person, and then he will write an email, like changing the entire narrative. Okay? That is like the opposite of what happened. And I lost my ever-loving mind on him. And I sent the meanest email I've ever sent in my whole life. And I was so proud of it. And I like then send it on to like, people I work with. And they're like, eee. I'm like,
Wow.
dude, listen, something happened. And then he sends me an email summarizing events. And it was all a complete lie. It was a complete farce. And I'm like, literally, it took like 30 seconds and I responded. I started like typing out this email and I was like, that is the most absurd email I have ever received in my entire life. And then like went through this litany of why he was wrong and why he was lying and how I can prove he was lying. And then I sent it to him and he hasn't responded.
When was this?
That was last night. And so this morning I was waiting for his Nastygram back. Nope, nothing. I was like, you know what? You can suck it.
He's not going to try to get you in trouble in some way, is he?
How's he going to get me in trouble?
I don't know.
No. With who? I'm kind of my own boss.
Okay.
So what are you going to tell? Me?
I don't know how big of an asshole this guy is what I'm saying.
He's
quiet because he has nothing good to say in return.
Right. He has no response to it because like I literally attached like evidence of how I know he's lying. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish. But anyway, I was very proud of myself.
Good for you.
What's your high and low, Tina?
Oh, geez. Low is my muscles hurt. I had a really good workout last night, which was, 2 nights ago, which was great.
Well, if it hurts for 2 days, it must be amazing.
Yeah, my abs hurt pretty bad. So I guess if that's a low, that's my low.
That's pretty cool, though.
My high, oh boy, that it's sunny out. I love sunny days in Michigan because they're very far and few between.
Yes, that's true. Especially now.
Yeah, I don't have much to complain about today. Today's a good day.
You want to borrow some of mine? Because that wasn't my only low. I have a couple others.
The day's not over yet, right?
I should have got us some damn pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah.
I know. That would have been all of our highs.
Yeah.
Are they out? They're out.
They've got to be.
Oh, they started, a week ago, I think?
Yeah. Yeah. I have some friggin' social media friends who are like counting down to Christmas now. I don't even like Christmas. Ew. Anyway.
How can you not like Christmas?
No, I know. It's magical.
You want to go into this? Okay. I
do.
don't like Christmas because it makes human beings to like children into like greedy little present monsters. And then you have to do all of this crap that you normally don't want to do out of a sense of duty and obligation, like hang out with in-laws and shit.
And make whatever.
And make all the food.
All the cookies.
All the food. Yeah.
And how can you not eat them, right?
I don't like Christmas trees. I don't.
Oh my goodness.
Because I have cats. There's 2. Why am I going into this? I have 2 fucking cats that I hate, right? They're my children's cats. They love them. Of course they do. And these little bastards like knock the tree over every year. They climb it up and they knock all the ornaments off and they're all like family heirlooms and they break and then the tree falls over. And it's just like, to me, it's just a giant mess. It's a mess in my house, in my living room that I have to like look at. So I don't love it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's beautiful, all the decorations, and that is exhausting, decorating the house, especially when you have kids and they want it to look magical and pretty, right? But the day after Christmas, I'm done. Everything comes down.
Yeah, me too.
So does that make me a horrible person?
No. It makes you sane.
No.
Yeah, trees out in the backyard.
Yeah.
I get
The
it.
26th.
I'm just not a decorating person. Not when it comes to like seasonal stuff.
That's about the only holiday.
Dude, I have a friend who has an entire room in her basement of like totes of different holidays. And she is like all about it. And it's like train sets for Christmas and like all these little pumpkins. Do you?
I do.
I'll introduce you to her.
In the little village. Yes. I have the little village.
You have a village?
I do.
Oh man. You're going to love her. I'm going to introduce you. The circle expands. All right. So topic today is the Tangled Web and the lies and all of the crazy bullshit that the lying liars tell you out of their lying liar holes. Like these guys, if you have a cluster B personality disorder, you cannot tell the truth. Like even if it's truthy, what is it? Truthiness. Remember that? That was like a George W. Bush term. Like it's a little truthy, or there's a grain of truth to it. It's wrapped in a lie, and I think part of it is because that's who they are. Like they're a fake person.
They don't know anything else,
right? They're not even a real person, and I think a lot of it stems from the fact that they present themselves as different human beings to everybody in their life. So if you're a coworker, you're one person. if, to your spouse, your kids, your family, then your whole other facade.
Mm-hmm.
Every person gets a different facade. So you have to lie to cover all of that up. There's no, overwhelming truth there. And so, and it's funny. I think Linda and I discussed this really recently. I kind of have a little bit of a background in fraud. And I was speaking to this guy one time who was the foremost authority in the country, probably on like financial fraud. And he's like, some of these people, and he basically said the same thing. It's a fascinating topic, by the way, but that some of these people just don't know when to stop lying, right? And he's like, good liars do not lie all the time. Good liars lie 10 or 20% of the time. So that 80, 90% of the time they're telling the truth. You check it out, it verifies. Okay, now you believe them, right? These guys are terrible liars because all they do is lie. Everything is false. Everything that comes out, every emotion they think they have, because they don't have emotions, every emotion they express, every word they say to you. And that is a hard pill to swallow for somebody who has like real emotions, right? That everything they've ever said to you is false.
It's fake, right?
Right. So enough about them. Like, I kind of want to talk about what happens when you start uncovering all the layers of lies in their life and what happens to us, right? So it's like how to uncover or how it gets uncovered. That's always an interesting topic. I'll be honest. I think a lot of times now people are noticing that their social media accounts are just insanity, right? They either don't have one, which is mysterious because who doesn't have any social media at all? That's if you're just basically hiding. That might be the smarter move. Or they have a social media account where if you dig at it at all, you see these comments on all these other, usually women, if they're guys, all their profiles like, you look so hot in that. And all this. You're like, what the fuck? Who are you? Like, we've been dating forever. You're my husband, and you're saying this shit to people? Like, that's the weird part, right? And then, like, I had a circumstance where somebody, I still to this day don't know who it is, started putting notes on my car.
Oh, interesting.
Anonymous notes.
I never
That's
knew
like,
this.
he's a liar, he's lying to you. And I'm like,
that's a little freaky.
It is, because this person not only knows who I am, they know where my car is parked. They know what my car looks like. Why? Right? And it would be just periodic little tidbits of information, right? Like, he's getting blowjobs in a parking ramp, right? Like just weird shit. And, if you take that back to them, which is a huge mistake, you have to learn over time. You take it back to them. All they do is lie more. And they do the whole trickle truth thing where they will only admit up to what you can prove and show in their face that you know for a fact.
Or they make you think you're crazy.
Or,
yes.
Oh my God, I know.
The whole mind fuck.
Yeah.
Where you question your own sanity. Like, oh, well, maybe he is right. Maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I'm just sensitive. Right? Have you ever had it where you know something for an absolute fact because you saw it with your own eyes and they'll still deny it? Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
I mean...
And just the lies and backpedaling. Well, no, you really didn't see that. That's not what you think it is. Yeah, it is. You came out of the house in just your underwear. Hello? How many people do that randomly?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And what's the reason?
He was giving her back the keys that she left at the restaurant.
In his underwear.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you came to his house and there was somebody.
Yes. I came up, I was coming home and it was.
Oh, so you live together?
Yes.
Okay.
It was after bar hours. And I was coming in or down the street and there was this odd car parked at the end of the driveway. I'm like, I think I know whose car that is, but I'm not sure. And I pull up closer and I see him coming out of the house in just his underwear. And I stop behind her car And I just watched the whole thing happen. And he hands her something through the passenger window, and then she takes off really fast. And I get out, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? It's like, oh, well, we all went out after work and she left her keys at the restaurant, so she stopped by to pick them up. I'm like,
In her car? Wait a second. Don't you need the keys to drive the car?
House keys.
Oh, they were separate.
Oh, apparently. Yeah.
He left and just threw them on the table.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good story, right? I'm like, really? So even though, okay, I'll give you some credit. Sure, you were nice. She stopped by. You brought home her keys for her. Why was it necessary for you to go out in just your underwear? You couldn't put on a pair of pants, a T-shirt.
Again, this is like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's so brilliant.
I'll never forget that.
And then there's so many stories we could all share about stuff like that where they just, I've shared some previously on this podcast where they just tell you that what you see, you didn't
real.
really see. And that's when you start to think you're crazy. But then you realize, I don't feel crazy in any other aspect of my life. I'm not seeing things and hearing voices anytime unless it's involving you. And I love it when they come back to you and they're like, oh, you just shouldn't look at my social media because it just makes you feel bad.
Oh my God, yes. Or you're reading into it.
Yeah.
We're just all friends.
Oh, look what you
clients. Like,
they're always clients.
Yes, clients.
I know.
Like, wow, what kind of services do you provide?
He's full service. Mm-hmm. All of the services.
Yes.
They have 800 strange women as Facebook friends, and you don't know what to
yes.
do with them.
Over 2,000. That's the best. Well, I have to grow my friend list, right? Because it's all about networking.
Except that those like Facebook pages have nothing. You could have a business Facebook page.
Absolutely.
But that is like your personal stuff. This is like, look at this chop suey I ate yesterday. It's not, come to my networking event.
Right.
I know. Ew. So, when you start noticing the anomalies in their social media, or, you get the notes on your car, or somebody says, oh my God, I had a friend. This is great. Goes to a McDonald's with her nephew of all place, McDonald's, okay, in her hometown, a little podunk town. Walks in, and the girl is like, hey, there's a girl working the front desk, or desk, whatever, cash register. She's like, hey, remember that guy that you used to date? He's dating my cousin now. She's like, he's my husband. Like, that shit will always come up sooner or later, right?
Nice.
Like, he's my husband. We have kids together. What the fuck are you talking about? And yeah, that whole thing. And then of course it's just, she's mixing me up with somebody else. Maybe she thinks of someone else. Maybe
I must have a twin in town.
Yeah. She must not realize who you're married to. It's all just, she's like, want to go to McDonald's with me so I can do like a identification? And he's like, no, of course not. He's like, I'm not going to play your games. It's just insanity. But anyway, we could tell a million stories like that. But what happens to us, right? So when you first see all this shit that doesn't add up, I think it's first normal, especially if you're in love with this person and you've been together for a while. The first stage is just denial, right? You just don't believe. You don't believe the notes, and then they tell you not to believe the notes, or you not to believe what you're seeing with your own eyes, or not to believe the profiles on Facebook.
Well, it's hard to at first. You're spending so much time with this individual. How could they possibly have the time and the energy to be telling you all these lies?
Now
That's the first thing I always think of. Oh, I'm with him 7 days a week. How does he have time to be with anybody else?
Girl, they find the time. That is a common thread with all three of us, because that is the exact same thing that I thought. Like, how in the world do you find the time? That motherfucker finds it. Like, I don't know if they work. What are they?
Right.
What they're doing when they're
finding out,
quote unquote, working is I don't know, just fishing for more
networking.
Supply.
They're networking.
Yeah, with their dick.
They're providing that service.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's the denial, right?
Yeah. So you're in denial because you're like, we're always together and he loves me so much and he says all these things. Like, talk is so cheap. But they say all the things that reel you in, because you as a normal person wouldn't say that to anybody unless you meant it.
Exactly.
the denial's tough because when you look back on it as someone who's been through that scenario, when you finally get through the whole process and you look back at the denial, that's when you feel like a fucking idiot. You're like, I am not this stupid, but I was that stupid.
Right.
And that's at least for me, like where the self-loathing comes in, right? Like, I've heard stories and, like credit card charges for webcam girls and massage parlors that are like connected to a truck stop. And you're like, holy shit, like it's right in front of my face. And then you just let them explain it away.
Right. And you brush it aside. Oh, okay, makes sense. And you just forget about it. It's not worth getting into a huge argument, right?
Because you just want to be happy.
Right.
Yeah. And and then you try to quantify
rationalize
the time. But you're right. The one way they really get you is when they say they don't have time and you're like, you don't really have time, but you do. It's like it's like a skill.
I get up in the morning, I eat breakfast with you,
Yes.
I go to work all day, and I come home to only you. You're the one I come home to every day, and you're the one I go to bed with every night. When do I have time? Absolutely. Nooners, hello.
Yeah. Or they're not sleeping.
Business meetings.
A lot of it's by the fucking phone, man.
Oh, yes.
I know. So then after you get through the denial stage and you really realize that they are fucking you over and you're not as dumb as they're trying to make you out to be. And by the way, that's just offensive. When you get done, you're like, you treat me like I was an idiot.
Right?
Right? Then you're just offended. But then you go into the shock phase. It's that cognitive dissonance where you're like, this cannot be. Like you're so shocked because the person that they pretend to be with you is not at all who they are. It's insane. I mean, that's when you ask the question, who are you? Like that's so, it's scary almost. You almost you're almost afraid because you know now that they're not anybody close to the person they've pretended to be with you, and they've been with you, like you said, right? Almost 24 hours a day. And yet everything in that 24 hours was a complete lie. And then you get shocked. And then my most favorite phase for stories to tell later is the anger phase. Oh, when you just get pissed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But
like
in the anger
slashing
phase,
tire phase.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that kind of anger. Like where you just want to key up their car, slash their tires.
Which they would love, right?
Because
then
it's
they're
attention.
It's attention, and then they can call you crazy.
Exactly.
So you have to channel that anger into saying, I'm not going to do anything right now because that would just give him the satisfaction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
That's why all their exes are crazy.
Yeah. They're like, she did this to me and she did. Listen, no random bitch is going to go slash your tires. You fucked her over.
Exactly.
By the way, do you know how hard it is to slash a tire? And I am.
Have you tried?
Well,
do tell.
I am only speaking from experience because my father one time said, I'm going to show you how hard it is to slash a tire. And we had like an old farm truck, right? Because of steel belted radials. I don't even know. I mean, I think you can let air out of a tire, but if you're going to slash a tire, you got to be like Hercules. Because
is it that hard?
It's really hard.
I've never even tried.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it took like a hammer and a knife to actually get the knife through and then to get it back out. Like I was a teenager at the time, but it was really hard.
I have to come up with another way then.
But keying cars and shit, right? Yeah.
Right.
Here's the thing. There is no such thing as the thought police. So you can run through the scenarios of how you would like to exact revenge day and night. And
yeah, that's not a crime.
That's not a crime. Whatever satisfaction that could give you is perfect. But
in honesty, like what you just said, doing absolutely nothing is the best revenge.
Well, that's because they're narcissists.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, with my ex-husband, I have shown with my kids that there's two ways to behave in a scenario.
Yep.
The way their dad is behaving and the way I choose. Always take the high road, no matter how difficult it is and just gut-wrenching it is, take the high road, because then you won't have any regret later down the road or anybody calling you crazy, right? You haven't done anything. So always take the high road, follow the rules, as you should. And then for my kids, they can see how crazy, truly crazy their father is in that situation and how he chooses to live versus how we choose to live. And if we don't give them anything to react to, I mean, that's the best thing. I mean, what can he say about us?
You know what's funny is, excuse me, I've actually seen when you don't react and you literally do nothing, that they will actually invent things that you did.
Oh,
they will tell other people, she's so crazy, she did X, Y, and Z to me. And you're like, no, I didn't. Now, one of two things or three things happened, right? You either did it to yourself because you want the attention, and they love the attention, or I'm not the only bitch you fucked over, and somebody's fucking you up, but it ain't me. I'd love to know who it is. I mean, I like to see a lineup. That'd be fun. But it's not me. So I wonder who it is. Or they're just making it up for, for attention. But I mean, I have seen a situation where someone literally does things to themselves, like literally will slash their own tires and then call the police and make a police report. And they're like, it's got to be my ex-girlfriend. She's crazy. Like, it's insane. Wow. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen circumstances where people have been accused of doing things that never even happened.
It sounds a lot like it's another way of manipulation.
To keep you interacting with them.
Yep.
They have to
stay
have
involved
it.
in their life.
Yes.
Absolutely. They can't let you go.
Because then there is going to be a text exchange, phone call exchange after that point, albeit out of anger.
Yep.
And a horrible blow-up fight, no doubt. But there's still that communication.
That connection.
They don't care what the attention is.
Mm-mm.
It has to be constant.
And it's partly controlled too, right? If they do this, accuse you, then they're controlling the situation. They are in charge of those little puppet strings. And yeah, it's amazing what they do to keep you in their life, no matter how hard and you or how fast you run away from the scenario. They still find a way to pull you back in.
Well, and then that way too, it's sort of I don't know if you've heard about the flying monkeys phase, where they get people in their circle to start attacking you too, right? And they'll make up a scenario, tell all the flying monkeys, like, this crazy bitch slashed my tires. Look, my tires are slashed. It must have been her. And then all of a sudden now you're dealing with 15 people, always women, coming after you and saying, I can't believe you did that. You're so crazy. You're so nuts. And then telling everybody else, right? It's that whole campaign to make sure no one believes you. And they try to discredit you. They try to make you look bad in the public eye, because if you go out and tell your story, they're fucked. They're fucked. And it's going to dry up their supply. Unless they live in like Los Angeles, it's going to dry up the community of women that they're trying to put their dick in. So I think fuck that, right? I mean, you got to fight fire with fire. And I think one thing that is liberating is when you're able to say, I'm going to tell my story to whoever that damn well plays, right? I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk with, but I'm never going to have any communication with you again.
Yeah, use that anger stage in more of a constructive way.
Right.
With your support system, like a group of girlfriends. We can talk about all the nasty shit we would like to do all day long.
All day long.
It's so helpful, cathartic.
It is, and I don't think that voodoo dolls are illegal either. You can just burn them in effigy. Nor is angry music. I have like, angry songs that I love to listen to. And I'm just like,
one thing I haven't done.
Oh, it's fun.
Is it? Oh, I just scream, or I'll go out and I'll just run for miles and then cry. For me, that's very cathartic. Just to run and then cry. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then I come back and I feel good.
That's awesome. See how healthy that is?
It is.
There's also some really terrible song. Then you eat. Well, but you can. You just ran.
But a whole can of Pringles, come on.
Yeah, some kid went blind eating Pringles. Watch out. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, he ate like Pringles and French fries and he went blind. I read the news headline things. Anyway. So once you get through that whole like super angry phase and you're like, nope, I found my power. I found my strength back. You can't control me anymore. I'm going to tell my story and I'm going to have no contact with you. that's when they lose control and they start acting out. That is when you hit, like for me and you guys too, probably like the fear stage. Like you get to where you're afraid of them. Because that's when the stalking starts. And now you're like, okay, if this person can fake a tire slashing and tell everyone I slashed their tires, then there's nothing that he's not going to do, right? Like he's now dead set against taking me down. And then they start showing up where you are, or they won't stop texting you. And that's when you just get afraid. I don't know about you guys in that experience, but that getting the fear that you've let them that far into your life, plus with a realization that they have been fucking everything with a vagina or the other way around. And you're like, oh my God, I have to go to the doctor immediately. That fear too, right?
Yep.
Like the OBGYN is the best place to go ever. God. And you got to go in and be like, listen, it's like a doctor you've like had for years. You're like, you need to test me for everything. It's the worst. Like literally everything. Because I don't know where he's been. And then I got to come back in 4 months and do it all over again.
Yeah.
Because in case he gave me something really heinous,
right,
it's not going to show up for a couple of months.
It's got to ferment in your system a while.
Oh, God. Yeah. And by the way, if you do find out you have something, you don't have to tell them.
No.
You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you have to have additional contact. Living the lifestyle that they live, they should know that they're at high risk and they should get themselves checked out anyway.
You would hope. You would hope. But then that they would have to accept their behavior if they did that.
That will never happen.
Exactly. I know somebody that sleeps around all the time. And for years. And I don't think he's ever been tested. Because then he would have to accept the fact of what he is. He's a man whore, right? I mean.
Yeah, but what if he's like peeing fire and everything itches?
It's not his fault. It's not his problem.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he refuses to get tested. He's in denial.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. There should be like a public service announcement about that guy.
Yes, there should be.
Print it out on.
Can we make a Facebook page of locals that we know of that do that?
Well, you could.
An awareness group?
We talked about this before, using the dating apps to rate people.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
It could be a, likelihood of, what are they? Are they STIs now or are they STDs?
I think their STIs is the in vogue term.
Right.
The new one.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they're not all diseases. They're some of them are infections and like
true
parasites and critters.
Ugh.
It's the worst.
Anyway,
So in the fear stage, you're spending so much of your time and energy trying to take the high road and to stay away from this person and to involve yourself in the good things, but they're not allowing you to. They are showing up.
Yep.
They are texting you.
Yep.
telling you to get a different friend group.
Oh, telling you what to do in general. That's
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
Oh,
And you just want it to go away.
right. And when you say, like, don't contact me again, the next thing is, I'm going to leave you alone now, okay? I just need you to know these 3,000 things I'm about to text you. And then your
Did you get
response
that
is,
text? Yes, I love it.
and then your response is, like I said, don't contact me. And then, and then they get angry. You can't tell me what to do. Well, yeah, I can, block them from texting you, which is beautiful now, but you can't block them from like driving by your house or, calling other people and trying to check up on you, stalking social media. Yeah, that's awful.
Scary. My
It's
friend
super
had that
scary.
happen, where he would show up at her house late at night, and she lives alone.
Ugh.
And she would just get this tingling feeling on the back of her neck. And she would call me. She's like, something's just not right. She'd go to one window and see that his truck was parked on the street. So she didn't have proof that he was looking in her windows, but he made his presence known.
Does he live next door?
No.
Then why is his truck
He
anywhere near her
drove
house?
20 minutes out of his way from where he lived to make his presence known.
Oh, fuck.
And then he would somehow be on the same street on any given day if she was driving to work or to a client's house. He would show up. His truck would be behind her car, or she would find his truck in the restaurant parking lot if she was having dinner with her daughter. Just weird shit like that. And he would not leave her alone. And then it came to a face-to-face confrontation where she was out walking her dog, excuse me, and he shows up in the neighborhood in the middle of the night while she's walking her dog. And luckily she had her phone on and she called me. I called 911 and the cops come, and it was a huge thing. I mean, he just would not leave her alone, sending her letters in the mail, random gift cards from a loved stranger. Oh, it was crazy. I just
had drinks with, this is when it was a little warmer out, but just had drinks with a friend of mine who is like badass, high-powered exec, right? Not anybody's like victim normally. And her soon-to-be ex-husband is totally on the cluster B spectrum for sure.
Crazy spectrum.
And she filed for divorce. She filed, right? And she's talking about her divorce filing, and she's like, he follows me. And I'm like, that's weird because they do that a lot, right? And no shit. No, what? By the way, she was within walking distance of her home. So she had walked to where we met. And I had walked too, because I was within walking distance in my office. And so it's not like he's following any car or anything. And we're sitting outside this bar having a glass of wine. And she goes, here he comes. He's walking his dog down the street. And I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
What? I'm like, how the fuck does he know you're here? And she's like, I literally have no idea anymore. I'm not understanding how he's figuring it out. But he walks right by us and he's like, I know him because they were married. And he's like, oh, hey, ass, how you doing? It's been a long time. And I'm like, so creeped out. I can't even respond. Then he leaves and I just was like, look, I'm going to walk you back to your condo because this is weird. Sure enough, we have to go under a bridge to get to her condo. He's waiting on the other side of the bridge, just standing there. He's like, oh, I'll walk you the rest of the way. No, I don't think so.
Fuck you will.
Right.
That's just creepy.
So creepy. Like, dude, she does not want to be with you. She filed for divorce. Like, she'd filed, moved out. You're done. Go away. Just go away. And they can't give that up, and then they'll try to couch it in terms of, I'm just trying to work on the relationship. Okay, she filed for divorce, dude. You should have worked on the relationship 2 years ago. Right. Right? Like, it's over. It's over now. But anyway, once you get through the whole like fear, I mean, I sometimes think it's like living in like a refugee camp. Like sometimes you get used to a base level of stress. Right? You're always worried that they're around the next corner, and finally you just get accustomed to it. And you start, maybe this is my warped mind because I do have a bit of a warped mind sometimes, but I started to think it was funny. Right? Like,
it might be a little warped.
Like at a point when I'm like, when I see your car again, like that's hilarious. Like, just stop. Right? Nothing. You're not getting any feedback.
And don't they have anything else going on in their life?
No.
I mean, the time that they spend, stalking you, following you to restaurants, walking their dog, showing up at your work. What are they doing? How much PTO time do they have?
I was going to say, how do they simultaneously then start dating all these other women and starting the cycle over?
I think we've established today that the one thing they're not doing is working.
True, good point.
I mean, I don't know who employs these people.
Stalking you, texting another woman.
Yeah.
And then fucking another.
Yeah. All at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever caught anybody texting somebody while they were with you?
Yes, in bed.
Oh my God.
Yes.
What did you do?
I was in shock.
Did he tell you it was like his aunt?
No, there was no discussion. I just was watching out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh my God, we just had sex. We're lying here in bed and he's texting another woman. Well, she's texting him saying she's looking forward to seeing him on Monday. Right. And I'm like, oh my God. I at that point, I didn't know what to feel other than just disgust and shame. And I didn't see his response because I had to pretend that I wasn't looking, right? And getting into his business. And I just lied there and fell asleep so sad and depressed and just gross all at the same time. And that's when it really hit me. I'm like, you are a fucking nasty piece of shit.
Yeah.
Wow. So are their phones like just on lockdown?
Yes.
Like
Yep.
17-digit.
Which one? Which phone?
The face recognition.
Oh, right.
That's what's great because you can't hack into that.
Yep. Their
the
phones,
thumbprint.
and they never let it go. It's never
Or
out of their
on
hand.
their person.
Right.
on their-
Or you can trust me. You can see my phone at any time.
Well, yeah, but it's the other phone.
No. But I was in a relationship where he would say that I have nothing to hide from you. You can look at it at any time.
Did he hand it to you?
No, because it's that warped mindset that we get, right? Like, oh no, I trust you. If you're offering your phone, there must be nothing for me to see, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Did he ever take your phone, though, and go through it?
no.
See, I've had that, right? Where they'll take your phone and like start scrolling through it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I've never had that. And it
Like-
would piss me off. I don't have anything to hide, but that would piss me off.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's never.
I think
he's
it's that
handed me-
projection.
Well, he'll see that messages come through, and I purposely have my phone set where you only see the name of the person that sends you a message instead of, the little short version where you can get a glimpse of the text.
Sure.
I'm like, I took that off a long time ago.
Yeah.
But no, he'll see that a text will come through, and he's like, oh, you got a text. And he'll pretend not to look at it, but come on, because he'll do one of these. Oh, you have a text. And hand it to me upside down. Really? You can just hand it to me normal. But no, he's never gone through my phone, never asked.
But you know.
But I've never given, this person doesn't know my code. It's pretty good.
Okay.
He'd have to know.
You'd have to be like unconscious and him putting your thumbprint on there.
Well, he would have to take the time to really know me. That's the first problem, right?
Right.
To figure out what the code is.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't taken the time to know me that well.
Ew.
Or never did, I should say. Did, past tense.
Yeah. I've heard them just grabbing it out of your hand while it's unlocked.
Oh, no. I wouldn't. That would not go over well with me. Not that I have anything to hide, but it's just the fact that.
It's rude.
Right. They think they can do that. I wouldn't even do that to my kid.
Right. Well, I might do that to my kid. Maybe not. No. I
haven't had a situation.
I wouldn't have to.
let's say.
My kids are bad liars. Terrible.
Aren't they all? Teenagers. Oof.
Oh my God, they're terrible liars.
But anyway, so yeah.
So once you get through that whole phase and you're like, okay, this person is just shitty and what do you say? A nasty piece of shit.
Nasty
right?
piece of shit. Yeah.
Then, and you start to think that it's kind of funny that they're just won't let go. And you kind of get past all
And
of
it's
that.
sad too, though.
Then that's the next stage is you get completely sad and depressed. It's sad. And, it's heartbreaking to think, one, that you wasted time and energy on a person who it literally meant nothing to. They they have no feelings. They do not care. All they care is about what you do for them and how you make them feel. They don't give a shit about you. And you're like, I spent all this time and energy carrying
money.
Money. It's always money.
Don't forget
Oh my
that.
God, yes. All this time and energy and money caring about somebody who literally treats you like a piece of shit. You are a pawn on a chessboard. You mean no
one
more
of
or
many.
less. Right. You mean no more or less to them than any other human being because they're a sociopath, right?
But they love you.
Well, they say that word because that's what you want to hear, but do they
Exactly.
ever show you they love you?
Nope.
Right.
Oh, yes, with their dick. Right?
It's so good. Yeah. So, and that kind of leads into like that funk in sort of depression almost. Because then you're like, are they all like this? Then you start seeing people, you see the narcissist everywhere.
Yes.
And there are a lot of them, but not everybody's, clearly not everybody's a narcissist. And there are normal people out there. There's even normal guys.
Absolutely. Right.
Maybe just in another state. I don't know.
Definitely another city. Listen, you better hope he doesn't have an STI because then a whole lot of people have it.
Oh,
Half the town has it.
What's that thing? I just sent you a meme not too long ago.
Yeah.
I'm much smarter than my dating history would leave you to believe. You just get sad. You're depressed. Like, I am smarter than this. I can't
know.
believe I fell for this.
Yep. You know,
And then you wonder, how can the other women not see that, right? How, it's just, it's perplexing.
Makes you want to start putting
wonder.
notes on people's cars, doesn't it?
Let's talk about the other women. Right? Like the pre-supply, the post-supply, the same time as use, the simultaneous supply. Here's the weird thing, okay? I have noticed in having conversations with so many people in our position that have the narcissist in their life, and that narcissist has a person in their life who has been their supply for like decades. It's kind of their fallback supply. You know, Susie is their friend.
Oh, yes.
Susie never got married because she's holding out hope that they'll end up together, and she's at his beck and call, or she's married to him and he's had billions of affairs, and she just keeps on sticking around. What the fuck is wrong with Susie? That's what I want to know. I mean, the Susies out there
Susie is codependent.
For real codependent, but Susie needs a goddamn girlfriend who would tell her the fucking truth. You know what I mean?
True. But she wouldn't have any because
He's
gave
her
them
whole
all
life.
up a long time ago.
Yeah.
Or he's fucked them all, right?
So for sure.
Yes.
If Susie
You
has
gotta
a
love that
friend,
one.
he's put his dick in it. I
Oh,
mean,
yes. I know somebody like that.
and then what happens is it ruins the friendship, and then Susie's marginalized even more. And even more.
She's left
and
with
even
no
more
one.
because now she doesn't have any friends. He might have fucked her sisters for all we know, you know? I have heard of a situation in our community with a friend of ours who has somebody like this in her life. And that motherfucker banged his daughter's friends. Like,
Do I know this person?
marginalizing, yes. Marginalizing
Oh my
not only like everybody in his family, doing it to his kids too. Can you imagine being like a teenager or in your early 20s and realizing that your dad's fucked your friends, or at least wants to, and has hit on all of them and fucked the ones that he could? That's insane. That is so messed up. You can never be a normal human being after that.
See, and I wonder about that one person we know. Does he target women with teenage daughters for that very reason?
I wondered that too. About him specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Is that another supply?
Yeah.
Or
do you ever let anybody meet your teenage daughters?
only if I'm in a relationship with them,
Yeah.
like months, or I've known them. I haven't had many relationships after my divorce for obvious reasons. There
Would you
aren't
ever
many.
let anybody like have access to your daughters without you around?
One particular individual that I dated for a few years, yes, did.
Okay. But you had it. You had your mom guard up.
Oh, we're still friends to this day. There was never a trust or creepy issue with him whatsoever. I would still trust him with my kids.
No way. I think I would ever let anybody have access, like spend time alone with my kids. No
Yeah, that was the
grown
only
up
time.
man would ever hang out with my kids over my fucking dead body, unless they're family. You know what I mean?
But see, this particular
I don't-
person, I've known him for
Yeah.
20 some years.
Oh, girl, I have trust
So-
issues. I hear you. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Well, no. Yeah, I mean, I never doubted him. That's not,
Yeah.
but he's not the kind of person we're talking about. So,
Yep. Exactly. I know. I'm so suspicious. I'm always like, who's your
yeah.
cross country coach? It's a guy. Yeah.
Do a little Google search right now?
Yeah.
well, and you feel sick to your stomach when you have those creepy feelings about the person you're married to. Like, oh no, you can't give him a bath. I'll give him a bath. Yes. And then that what we've talked about today, that's the whole mind fuck. It's like, oh my gosh, no, he can't do that. That's their dad. Oh, but why am I thinking this? And it's crazy. It
have
puts
to
you
go
in
with
that
your
crazy. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do. And then they tell you you're crazy and must be fucked up if you have those thoughts.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a whole nother.
By the way, if they say that, something's going on. Because a normal person doesn't say that.
No.
A normal person is like, I can see why you're concerned. You're just, a mama bear. You're just being protective. Yeah. It's that. But it's that whole sadness that leads up to the acceptance that's interesting because, you know, I've done a ton of therapy, and it's in my own therapist is like, he goes, you know, look, and I love therapy. Okay. It's the only person who ever listens to me talk about myself, you know, I gotta pay him to do it, but okay. And I think it was probably 6 months into, maybe even more, like into therapy. And he's like, you know, I have this form I'm supposed to fill out for your insurance company after every session. And I'm supposed to check a diagnosis because if you don't have a diagnosis, they won't pay for you to keep coming here like every week. I wish I could go like every day, but all right.
Right.
And he's like, the only box that makes any sense to me to check for you is complex grief. And I'm like, okay. And it's true. Like when you think about those 5 stages of grief, you have gone through every single one of them because it's one thing, and I've lost a lot of people in my life. It's one thing to go through a death and losing somebody that you love. It's worse to realize that somebody you love never even existed, that they were fake. That is so hard. That is that complex grief and where that comes in. And so, yeah, when he said that to me, I'm like, that's it. That's exactly what that is. It's just going through these stages of realizing that this human is really just like a ball of lies, right? Like there's no flesh and blood there. It's just lie upon lie upon lie.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think it would be easier to physically lose somebody.
It would be.
Yes. Because then you have that closure.
Yeah.
Right?
Like he was, look, you know, I've lost, I don't want to reveal too much about myself or who I am, but I've lost a parent. And, you know, when that happened, you know, everybody's, you know, gives you condolences and tells you how sorry they are. And I was sad and I still miss him, but it wasn't that bad because A, you know, you expect to lose parents eventually. B, he had been very sick. But C, like, I had a great parent. He was a great guy. My dad was a great guy. And I had the luxury of having a completely normal childhood with a normal dad who was nice to me and provided for me. And he was a good, you know, he had his faults, trust me, holy shit. But he was a good dad. So when he died, it was like, I didn't feel this sense of loss or loss of opportunity to make a relationship that didn't exist.
You can blend it with a celebration of his life.
Of his life.
The support that
and
he
they had
gave
this
you.
great family.
Yeah.
When you lose somebody that wasn't even real, it fucks your head up because you are just like, I'm so sad that this person's gone, but this person wasn't even real, right? It was all a pack of lies. And that's where it gets so complicated because you still miss that person, but you don't because every time you have a memory of like a good time, it's tainted by knowing that they were just lying to you that whole time. It sucks. And once you get through that, which is like, God, it might take forever. I think you get to the point of like in the 5 stages of grief, like the acceptance. And I think with people like this, the acceptance stage is really just no contact, just being done. You know, to say,
Right.
I don't want to make a voodoo doll anymore. I wouldn't be sad if you died in a fire, but I'm not going to hope about it anymore.
Right. That anger is going to keep popping back up every once in a while.
Well, but we're human, right?
Right.
And yeah, there comes a time where you have to say enough is enough. I need to put my time and energy into something that gives you pleasure and joy and ruminating and going over memories and him in general. It's not happy. It's not happy. And it just brings you down that much further. So for me, I have to do something physical, whether it's like destruction on my house or in the yard or go for a run or lift weights. I have to do that because just sitting around and remembering the quote unquote good times, they're not good times. It just brings up too much anger and sadness and depression. And it starts that cycle all over again.
I know. And once you realize, it's weird because when you miss somebody, if it's a normal breakup in a normal relationship, you're like, well, if I miss him enough, maybe we should try to get back together or whatever, or, you know, fix the relationship. There's no doing that with these people. When you realize what they are, there's no going back. You can't ever go back. You can't stay friends. You can't continue to be in contact with them. You're sure as hell not going to salvage a relationship that wasn't even real to begin with. You just have to be done. And celebrate the moments like when, you've realized it's been 48 hours and they haven't crossed your mind one time.
Yes.
Yes. It's great. But yeah, so it's doing that work, right? And getting to a point where you don't ever have to think about them, talk about them. You have them blocked to the nth degree on all forms of social media.
Mm-hmm. And they'll
you,
go away eventually. They'll stop following you eventually.
It's funny. So
Question mark.
I don't think that's true. Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Really?
No. I've talked to, because of this podcast, I've talked to a multitude of people, and I have friends who have been years and years and years and years and years out of this, decades out of it.
Wow.
And they will still periodically be contacted by these people. It's fucked up. And you just have to get to a point where, the text message will come through on a new phone, because they always have to get a new phone or find your new phone number, and some random text message. Hey, it's Bob. I'm back. And you just have to just be like, okay, done. We're done. I have a friend, I've talked about her before on this podcast, where for some reason, I don't know if he's an accountant or what, but he has to call her once a quarter. He will figure out a way to call her quarterly, even though she is moved on in a relationship she's been in for a long time with a child, and he will still call her randomly, and to say the most random bullshit. Like, there's nothing to talk about, and of course she'll answer the phone because it's a new number, and it's him. It's fucker every time. And she's like, what the hell? But it's about 4 times a year. Yeah, he'll call her up 4 times a year. And just a reminder, he's still in existence. And I'm just
in case she wants to come back, right?
Yeah, he was stalking her. God, what is that app? I don't use it. Snapchat?
Oh.
Like, you have a
see
story? Yeah, he's like the first one to see her story every time. Every time.
You can have your location set on that too. They can know where you are.
Yeah.
I know.
Or you can be in ghost mode.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't use it, so you have to give me a lesson if I ever start. It's against the law for my children to have Snapchat because that shit deletes. So that's why I never really got into it.
That is why people started using it.
Exactly.
For pics of your junk.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
Gotta love those. Oh.
Yeah, well.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I know. I always impart the wisdom to the teenagers in my life. Never take a picture of your own junk if you're a minor, because even if it's your own body, that is actually illegal, because that's now child pornography. Okay.
Right. Yep.
Even if it's your own body. Number 2, if you're over 18, so in a few years when you're not a minor anymore and you want to take a picture of your junk, you better pray that it is the best picture you have ever taken in your whole life, because everyone that he knows is going to see it. So you better be real proud.
Right.
Because every one of his friends and every one of his colleagues is going to see your junk. So if you love it and it's a great picture and you're into that, go right ahead. But otherwise, don't send it.
Yeah. I just threaten murder with my kids. Like, you do that and you'll die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they believe you?
I think so. I think they have enough fear.
Good.
Let's hope anyway.
All right. Well, after this untangling the web convo, let's talk about girl crushes. You're going first, Linda.
Okay, I will.
I don't want to take yours, and you'll be mad at me if I take yours.
I know. Lizzo.
Oh, yeah.
The new artist.
Yeah.
Singer, songwriter, rapper.
Uh-huh.
Badass. That song, Truth Hurts.
Yep.
So good.
I got to go.
I always
listen to
crank
that
it
now.
up.
So,
Every time it's on, my kids and I just crank it up.
I don't know
Just
what it
jam.
is about that song. So
I
fucking
hated
catchy.
it at first.
I did too.
And then I'm like, all right.
And then
listen to
something
the
happened.
words. Yep.
Here I am, even in a committed relationship, and I'm screaming, "You could have had a bad bitch!" Like in my phone, in my car.
Exactly.
Top of my lungs.
He better play his cards right. He could lose you.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you never know.
Got to stay in your A game.
So Lizzo,
Deep throat.
she's badass. That's my guy.
I know. I forgot he was on here. Anyway.
Oh,
So I would just,
Where would you go on your girl date?
she would take me into all sorts of nightclubs
Oh, yeah.
and we would dance our faces off and no one would fuck with us.
Nobody to roofie Lizzo.
No. And then we'd probably get Taco Bell on the way home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
At Taco Bell, what do you get?
Oh gosh, it's been a couple of years.
There's
since I've
one
done
right
that.
answer to this, Linda. Standard crunchy taco.
Is that the answer?
Yes, it's the only good thing they make.
I'm a Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Kind
girl.
of girl. Oh,
That's what I've gotten.
I can't tell you the last time I've been to Taco Bell.
you want to go?
You
You
I don't
pay
know.
for it for at least 24 hours.
Exactly. I think that's why I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you.
I only want to do it with Lizzo.
Yeah. Oh, I might do it with a few other people, to be honest. But okay. Who's your girl crush?
Oh gosh, you have to come back to me. I don't
I
know.
gotta
If I
circle back. What? There's
don't
no celebrity you want to hang out with?
have
Or notorious individuals doesn't necessarily have to be a celebrity.
I'll have to think about that one.
So I was thinking about my mean email today, and it made me think of Nancy Pelosi because everyone is like, Nancy Pelosi's such a fucking cunt.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody hates her. And I'm like, you know what? She's had to deal with you dickhead motherfuckers for like
Good point.
decades. Of course she's a badass bitch now. She's had to deal with the patriarchy. Like she was like, groundbreaking in her day. So she has a chip on her shoulder and I don't blame her one bit. And I bet you she's a badass to hang out with. That'd be really fun. She's a little hoity-toity. So if we went on a date, well, first of all, I'd have her show me around the Capitol. I'd totally give it to her. Uh-huh.
You'd have to wear your pearls with her. She's so, yeah.
Girl, I don't have any, but my mom does. I'll ask her. Wear some pearls and wear like a floral print. I could wear a little floral print.
Yeah.
And
Pantsuit. Gonna wear a pantsuit?
girl, I wear pantsuits all the time. I got tons of those. But I think it would have to be a champagne pantsuit.
There you go.
It'd have to be a champagne colored pantsuit with pearls, fitted.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't ever put any product in my hair, but I think I'd probably have to put in like a lot of hairspray. So it didn't move.
Do a twist or something. Look very, very executive, very political.
And we would go around and talk about how a bill becomes a law. And I think maybe I would just have her regale me with stories of like, old white male representatives and the dickhead things they did to her.
Can you imagine the stories she has?
Oh my God, I bet she has awesome stories.
Let's have her on the podcast.
Yeah.
I bet she can spin a yarn, let me tell you. I'll call her up. I'm sure she'll be right.
That would be great.
I bet she knows more narcissists than all of us combined.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's my girl crush, Nancy.
That's a good one.
All right.
a good one.
All right, Tina.
Gosh, I don't know.
We kind of put her on
Nobody?
the spot.
I know. That's okay.
You did prepare. I've always had a thing for Demi Moore.
Ooh, I like
I
her.
don't know why.
I can see that.
She just seems badass to me.
What was the magazine that she was on naked when she was pregnant? Was it Vogue or Glamour?
I think
I think it was
I don't know.
Vogue.
It was one of those.
It was Vogue.
one of those.
With her big pregnant belly. And that was such a freaking scandal. And like the grocery store would put like a little bag in front of it like it was porn.
Yes. I don't know. There's just something about her that I just absolutely love. I can't tell you what.
She definitely gets better and more badass with age.
And maybe that's it. And I think I read she's like mid 50s now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's still fabulous.
Oh, I know.
she's not in movies or TV anymore, but she's just, I don't know. She's just somebody that I have always admired for years, decades.
I want to know the deal with the double that those women make. Like J-Lo's in her 50s too. What the fuck?
I know.
You look like you're 22.
How do you do that?
I know.
Is it Botox? Is it plastic surgery? How do they do that?
I don't know, but if they have to sell their soul to the devil, I might sign up because that is
To get
not
an ass like that? Yeah.
right.
It's their job. It's their whole world.
That
and
is
they have
true.
an amazing team.
I was going to
feeding
say,
them,
it's just, they have
working them out.
nutritionists, trainers, stylists. I mean, do they do anything themselves?
Doubtful.
Probably not.
I mean, J-Lo probably has somebody feeding her, right? I don't know.
With like a baby spoon.
Exactly. Oh, yes. So Demi Moore's mine. And
like her.
her movie G.I. Jane, I don't know. That's, I think, what really did it for me.
I haven't
That's
seen
an
that.
Really?
I'm gonna
That's your
watch it now.
homework.
That's my
She's
homework.
badass. She goes into the Navy SEALs.
Oh,
Yes.
she's all shaves her head.
Yes.
For real?
Oh.
Yes.
I like that look. Not that I'm going to do it because I think my head's weird, but
Yeah, that movie's awesome. I think that was the turning point for me.
Little camo.
Mm-hmm. She's just all just buff, and she just puts up with all these men in the military, and she's the first female Navy SEAL. And so you want to talk about narcissistic behavior and just pushing through barriers, you'd love that movie.
Plus, she was married to Bruce Willis, who was a narcissist for sure. Bruce. Yeah. So she's got some
your homework.
experience.
Watch that movie.
I'm going to. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter under S&M Podcast. Thanks for listening.